Step into the heart of Australian agriculture with Salt of the Earth Farm Stories, hosted by Darren Grigg.
And the business is only as good as the people you've got around you, and like I said, we're in a position we are because I reckon we've got nearly the best people in the business.
All right, we're back with Dom Shanahan. This time we're going even further behind the scenes. We'll hear how and why Dom looks after his drivers, putting safety first, B-doubles and even B-triples, and why he's gone all beef over lamb.
Cattle are easy, they're the best animal in the world. It's only when people mess with cattle that they make them bad.
There's stories about his female drivers, his switch-off time, and the challenges the industry can bring for wives and partners. And of course, we'll get to the fun stuff, the off-the-wall questions you won't see coming. So strap in. This is Dom Shanahan, up close and personal. So Dom, are you cattle only? Or?
Cattle only now, yeah. Way back, Simo, we only had the cattle crates, and then when I went out on my own, we had some sheep crates, and we had a couple of sets of sheep crates, and that worked good. It was good. I still didn't mind carting our sheep, but once we got more and more feedlot work and focused on that, it just made it a bit harder to cover the sheep. And we, one or two sheep crates were just a bit hard in amongst 20-odd cattle crates. You're just always trying to shuffle because they're a bit heavier in tear weight, so the feedlots generally load you to capacity, which is fine, to our limit. And with probably a 2-ton tear weight difference, that just made it a bit harder. So it wasn't too hard to make the decision to simplify it all.
Yeah. Now we've got another B-double just driving in, Dom, loaded up. Where would he be from?
I think he'd have some cows on from up north. Probably going to end up, I'd say, down at Seymour or Melbourne Sunday or Monday, depending when they want them at the abattoirs.
So he'll unload them here in your yards?
Yep,
You'll feed them over the
they'll
weekend?
get fed over the weekend under the shed there, and yep, they're going to the big paddock in the sky, I'd say.
Okay. Dom, what happens when plans go to shit at 2 a.m? Someone's blown a tyre or something's happened, cattle are
Well, this is where that would have happened years and years ago, because I was probably driving at 2 a.m. Now I didn't really like it, so I don't expect to. So a driver to do it. We're very rarely on the road then.
Good.
If we can't structure this job, and the fellas in the office are great, the drivers are good, they're only human. They're no different to us. Just because they hold a B-double licence or a road train licence doesn't mean they don't need sleep. They're no different to you or me. So we generally try and get the trucks loaded as early as we can in the morning. A lot of them are on the road at 6 or 7, and we'd like to think that they're finished by 10.
Yep.
They might be just cruising along somewhere till midnight, but we really don't. If we can avoid it, we don't have trucks on the road from 11 till 6, say.
And you mentioned road trains just then. You've got a couple of B-triples, is that right?
Yeah, there's a few of them. They mainly work in Queensland, and they get down this way a little bit. Yeah, our business is still, I would say, 90% B-double, 10% road train.
Yep, okay. Do you think the producers and processors understand what transport operators juggle behind the scenes?
Oh, no, most of them do. Most of them do. The ones that handle, the more livestock they handle, which is your bigger players, they understand it more and more, and they're generally the ones we hear the least from. It's the ones that really don't move much livestock can't fathom why would we be loading at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to load at 10 or 11. We'll say, well, no.
Yeah.
That puts him up at the other place at 10 or 11. We need to be loading at 6 or 7 so we can try and get your stock off in the daylight.
But generally they're pretty good.
Generally pretty good. Yeah, no, most of them pretty good. It's a very, very good industry, and a lot of the farmers, most of them have sort of, what would you say, improved a lot of stuff. So their whole systems of, their facilities have got better. The next generation that are our generation are probably reinvesting a bit of money into their farms, which is good, the good ones.
And that's what you're
There's a few aren't, but that's their problem.
And you mean loading ramps and yards?
Yeah, loading ramps and yards, and, really in the scheme of things, like I just said before, a load of cattle's worth $150,000. So If you spend $20,000 on your yards, it's nothing.
Well, I've actually just seen you being interviewed on a video, Dom, for the state government, talking about safety and good loading ramps.
Yeah, no, we're very focused on it, and our associations, the ramp and the bit of a force yards gets forgotten about a bit because the farmer says, oh, we only use it once a year or twice a year. Well, that's all well and good, but it's the once or twice a year that, and like I go back, it's the fellas that are using it 3 times a month, theirs are pretty good. It's the one that's probably can't get his head around it. But on the other hand, it's only got to get hurt once, and
that's right.
There's been a lot of blokes hurt when they really don't need to be in the ramp trying to get an animal up and one's coming back over the top of him. He's got nowhere to go.
And that video you're on, mate, just for our listeners, I was the one that shot it. So you did really well, Dom. Dom, what worries you most about the industry going forward?
Worries me?
Anything?
Probably, everyone talks about the driver shortage. Touch wood, we've got a very good crew of blokes, and we've got virtually a bloke in every truck at the minute, and, they're going along real good.
Any female drivers?
Yes, we've got 2 female drivers in Queensland. They do a great job.
I bet they do.
Yep, they've both been with me. One sort of been with me nearly right back at the start, nearly 10 years. Tanya, she would have had a year or 2 off to do some nursing and did her studying, and then she's ended up back in the truck again.
Serious? She's gone from nursing?
And her husband drives for us as well. And Belinda's, she would have been with us, I don't know, I'd have to have a look. She's probably 5 years now. So they do a great job.
And you travel a lot yourself, Dom, while you run a big operation. How do you balance that with family?
Well, when I travel a lot of the time, it's probably to the camp drafts and that, and I've got the family with me.
Good.
So we do a lot, me and the kids. Caroline comes a bit, but
that's your switch off time?
Yeah. But it's just the kids are old enough now that they do their own thing a bit more. So, but like I said, I don't travel. A lot of people probably think I'm travelling all the time, but like I said, I've only been getting to Queensland once or twice a week, which I'm a bit embarrassed about. A year. I should be up there more.
Well, mate, I've been trying to sneak a microphone on you for the last 2 months. You were in America there in December, and you were witnessing a world circuit of camp drafting. Is that right? Is that what it was?
No, we went to the cutting in America.
Right.
Yeah, we went to the cutting at Fort Worth in Texas, me and a couple of friends, and we went to that for about 9 or 10 days. And then we went across to Vegas for the National Rodeo Finals, and that was awesome. We had 3 nights in Vegas and then home again.
How'd you handle that?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Unscathed?
Pretty good. Big Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Vegas was great. And Fort Worth and that, they were great places to go, to walk around there. I know if you went probably into the bad places, you'd get some trouble, but I actually felt safer walking around there than Melbourne, Sydney.
But that's chaotic, isn't it, over there? And there's lots of people everywhere?
It's not, it wasn't too bad. Vegas was pretty hectic, but you could still walk down the street at Vegas and down the strip at 1 o'clock in the morning and feel safe. We went to bars and go into a couple of bars, and it was great, so the bit I saw of it, I thought it was great. Clean, neat and tidy.
In between then, December, and now March, you've been all around the country.
I think we've been to Gippsland. We've been to...
You've been home to Balan.
Yeah, went back down for Christmas. We've been to Tamworth just recently. And then, like I said, go to Queensland this week for work. Yeah, when we've got people in Queensland and people down here, we've got workers anywhere from Wangaratta to Toowoomba, Brisbane. So, you've got to get up and catch up with them every now and then. Not that even when I go to Queensland, I still might only see 2 or 3 drivers because they're all out.
Yeah.
But they down here a bit, and when we see them down here, I try and catch up with them. But some of those fellas up there I might only see twice a year. And that's just the way it is.
Now, Dom, 6 kids and now a grandchild. How does that feel?
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty hectic. Little Gus there, he's never far away from here. Sid and that live just down the road, so he's pretty good. Pretty sure he'll nearly end up in a truck the way he's going. His dad drives the truck. Sid and Simon have got a truck with us, and Simon's gone most of the week, but every time Gus can get near a steering wheel he gets up there, he knows what the steering wheel is, and he'll be on the lever he knows what gears are and blinkers, so I'm 99% sure he'll probably end up bit of dad will be coming through in him, and I'd say he could end up in a truck yet.
Yeah, good. What about your kids, mate?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't, well, Sid's a bit involved already with it, with Simon. I don't push any of them towards it. It'll be their choice as it grows. They, the kids are, Eloise is doing her physio, so I don't expect her to come back towards the trucks, but then the other kids might lean towards them a bit.
I can imagine the boys being involved somehow, but Eloise, actually, she's over in WA living with my son, Jack, having a ball over there and doing very well.
Correct.
Now, we must shout out to your wife, Caroline. She does a great job too.
Yes. Back in the day when we had Caroline, she might be able to tell you more. I can't quite remember how many kids were born. Eloise was certainly born. Just can't remember if Molly was born when we had the first truck. Back then, Caroline did the books. She did all the books up until about 3 or 4 trucks and raised the kids. And this industry here is very, very demanding on wives and partners. And I know a lot of blokes that have had to get out, move on because that's just it hasn't suited their families. And I was lucky enough that Caroline was so good and backed us, and yeah, she did everything she could right up till a point where then I got an office lady to help because she couldn't do any more. And that was amazing, I reckon the 3 kids would have been born and we had 3 or 4 trucks and Caroline was still doing the books.
No, it's a mighty pond, mate. And, to see it grow so much and to think, there's 6 kids going all through school and sport and all that sort of stuff. And you've been involved in all that. Their sporting lives and Caroline too, doing incredible jobs. Has the business changed?
The business has changed. But it's changed for the better, as in, well, it's grown, and it all comes down to about 3 or 4 different things. Like, one, the staff. You're only as good as your staff, and I'd nearly happily say we got nearly the best in the business. When it comes to the management, and then the customers, the workers. They're all just, that all flows on. The equipment, all that just flows on to really coming down to the fellas in the office organising it, the customers. And with that, like some of these fellas in these trucks, they're great friends with their customers. They ring them and say, I'm on my way, and they'll have a yak, and I don't know what every truck's doing. And then I might see someone somewhere at a camp draft or a pub or anywhere, it's somewhere at an event or even the footy. Oh, we had such and such out at our place the other day. Well, I didn't even know that. Oh, gee, he was good. He was good. And I said, well, I'd like to think nearly all of them are pretty good. And they are, they're doing a great job. And they, like I said, and the business is only as good as the people you got around you. And like I said, we're in a position we are because I reckon we've got nearly the best people in the business.
Well done.
That's pretty common knowledge.
Is this what you're most proud of then?
Oh, yeah. We've had 3 blokes in the last 12 months go 10 years in the business, and we've only been going for 21. So, in a business, an industry where there's a lot of turnover, with our 35 trucks, we don't have a massive turnover. And I know the big companies with 10 trucks would have twice the turnover of us. That's a bit to be said. And we've probably got, touch wood, you can't speak for everyone, but when we took over that company in Queensland, we're coming up 10 years now. I took on 10 employees up there, 10 or 11. Could have been 12 to be exact. I think 5 of them are still with us, and they're probably lining up for 10 years service, I think, this Easter.
Well done.
So, that's what the business is about. And with those 10-year blokes, they're the blokes that lead. They're the blokes that you can send a new bloke with. Look, can you take this bloke with you, mate? He's never been there. Even sometimes this bloke really hasn't even handled livestock. Can you give him a hand? And they do. And those 10-year blokes are what and you'd love to get nearly everyone there, but it ain't going to happen. But if you can get 50% of your staff, which, within 5 years, we probably could have 50% around that 10 years. And that's your backbone to your business, and especially when this ain't a business that was set up and running. It started from one truck. So, you know.
Is there anything you do differently, Don?
No, I don't think so. Like some people tell me I probably should have done things differently, but I don't listen to them. It might be the bit of Irishman in me, but no, we wouldn't do it any differently. Like even Caroline, no, I don't think we do anything differently. We've been lucky enough to buy a bit of land as we go, and everything's pretty strategic. And at the minute we're in pretty much a consolidation mode. I don't think we need to grow any bigger. It's manageable. No matter how big you get in our game, you still won't cover everything. So, we've got some very good subbies around us that have been with us a while, and we like making sure, they're friends of us. Always give them a job here and there. It's healthy to be palming a bit off, I think, because that means that your business is healthy. And we probably, what would I say, subby more work out than we subby to other people, which is good.
Yeah, this relationship theme, mate, is coming through our chat, and you do that with your subbies as well as customers. So that's awesome.
Subbies they're a big part of our business too, and we've got some good loyal subbies that are, owner operators, and even some blokes with a few trucks, and their men are very good, and they link in with our blokes real good.
And what keeps you motivated after all these years?
Probably debt at the minute, plenty of it, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing. I've said all along, if all of a sudden I get towards 60 and there's no real clear, if this business and if there was no kids thinking about it, I don't think I'll stay chained to the trucks forever. I do like them and they're good, but I've said all along, I don't know if anyone ever told me this or I made it up myself, but businesses, farms, everything like that, you really only set them up for two things. One, to hand them on to another generation, or two, to sell them. I don't know what the third option is.
Yeah, right.
And that's really what you set your businesses up for. And if there's no one here to take it on in 10 years' time, and I'm not going to get too stressed, if depending where we're up to, what we're doing, I'd be pretty confident there'll be a couple of kids, hopefully, but that'll be their choice. I'm not going to make anyone take it on. I know if we decided to move on elsewhere, the trucks have still been very, very good to us.
There's no plans to slow down just yet?
No. We won't be slowing down. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. Like I said, we're very happy with the size we're at. It's good and manageable. I've got, some people ring, do you want to come and buy us out? And I said, no, not really. I said, we're pretty happy where we are, because we're in two great locations. I call it Barnawatha and Albini, which is virtually Oakey and Wodonga now. Two great locations with workshops and setups and everything that's very manageable from our maintenance staff, our office staff. My theory is if we went any bigger, it's just going to complicate things. No need. We can do a lot. And we really, we just got a very, very good client base. I think one of the best. Yeah. We got very good coverage with the trucks from the Gulf of Carpentaria to Gippsland. That works well. I don't think being any bigger is going to achieve anything.
I know you're very close to your grandfather, Jack Shanahan. What do you think he'd say about the business today?
Oh, Papa, I don't know what he'd say. I can't quite remember how long Papa would have been gone. We would have had a truck or two back in the day. I know Dad, when he sees him down there going out the freeway towards Ballarat, and he'll ring me straight away. Oh, there's one going up through Pikes Creek. I just went past one. What would he be doing? I said, I wouldn't have a clue. You'll have to ring the boys in the office. But generally, like today, we had trucks at Ballarat at the sale.
Yeah.
So Dad's quite chuffed when he sees them down there. Oh, there was two of them at the Park and Bay or at the BP at Balan. So he likes it. And yeah, we don't sort of head out that road that much. We go into Melbourne and get out of there and get back up here, because, the bulk of our work still is sort of from, your Wangaratta through to the Queensland border nearly.
Now, mate, in part A of your episode, we talked about you coming up here with a boat and no vehicle. Have you still got the boat?
No.
But it wasn't long ago.
No, the boat was round not that long ago. I reckon I sold it to young, I think it's Harry. And I don't know, I must ask Robbie. Robbie looks after our trucks in town with Hume Truck Technics there, and I must ask Robbie if the young fella still got the boat. But it was a good old boat. We had some fun with it, God. I had the boat when I was 18, the old orange boat. And back when I was still down south there, we used to take it to Echuca. You remember them days?
Yeah.
And we'd take it to Echuca and Robin Vale. Little old boat went everywhere. No, haven't got the boat anymore, but still remember the old orange boat very, very well.
All right, Dom, we're up to the fun part, mate. It's the fun part for me anyway. It's the off-the-wall questions. These can be just short answers. They could be a bit quirky. If your trucks could talk, what would they complain about most?
Probably me. Not wanting to move them quicker and get them out of this yard. I love looking at them, and I don't mind looking at them, but the more they're in this yard, the less money they're making.
That's right.
I know they've got to be home, but I know a couple of mates have come in. Gee, they look good, don't they, all them trucks? I said, no, they don't. I said, the less that are in here, the better, but that's just me.
So in your driving days, Dom, what's the strangest thing you've seen on the road?
Well, that is a good question. Very strange or not very fun is when you see one of these livestock trucks laying on their side. That is not much fun. I don't know if you call it strange, but that's something, the worst thing we see.
Yeah.
And there's been a few tip over and they ain't much fun.
No.
There's nothing good about it. And it's not good for anyone, even, other truck companies. Like, we try and help out where we can if there's one locally, and it's no good for anyone. There's an industry, insurance, the whole thing. So touch wood, you just try and avoid that at all costs.
Absolutely. What's the worst meal you've ever eaten on a long haul?
Worst meal? Oh, there's been a few. I can't pinpoint exactly where, but, the old egg and bacon roll or the old stuff in the cooker of a night because the meals have been turned off, There's not as many places to eat like there used to be. And I'm not an old, been trucking all my life, there's people been trucking a long while, but even back when I was driving, you had a lot more places to pull up. So it is harder for these fellas to get a meal. A lot of these fellas now, like all these trucks of ours, have got inverters in them and they've actually got microwaves. So a lot of these fellas will have an extra fridge. Their wives, partners, they will eat a lot, like cooked meals. Yeah. They will make meals for them, or they'll just buy the meals from the supermarket, because the cost now of these fellas pulling up, if you ate 3 meals a day in these trucks, it'd be $80 or $90 a day, absolutely. Go nowhere, and you'd be disappointed with a lot of the meals. So they probably still pull up and have a meal of a night, but during the day when they're on the move, these fellas, they might just grab something out and throw it in the microwave in their trucks. Some of them have got little cookers and but there's the worst meal. There's, the old stuff been in the cooker a bit long, and that's all you got that night because everything else is shut. That wasn't much fun. You appreciate the nice cooked breakfast the next morning when you got to where you're going. Yeah.
And if you weren't in this livestock transport game, what would you be doing?
Oh, well, we spoke about it earlier, whether or not we would be a livestock agent. I always said all along, I do like the earth moving side of it, whether or not we're in the earth moving game, but is what it is. That's history. This ain't changing for a while.
Which is harder to manage, livestock, drivers, or kids, or Caroline? Sorry, Caroline.
Not Caroline. No. She'll tell you that I'm harder to manage. Probably the kids. The livestock's easy. Cattle are easy. They're the best animal in the world. It's only when people mess with cattle that they make them bad. Nothing better than working with cattle. They're a great animal.
I've seen you do it well. Have you ever sworn you'd quit and then gone straight out and bought another truck?
Nah, we were never ever sort of, even at one stage when we did have a bad run with a couple rolled over and it wasn't much fun. I had a couple of average operators back in the day, and no, we never ever threatened to quit. I don't think we could. We're too far in.
What song should never be played in a Kenworth?
I reckon half the stuff on the radio. I don't listen to the radio that much. I've either got to be listening to a talking book or picking my own song. So I would say half the stuff on the radio shouldn't be played in the truck.
What's tougher, backing a B-double or a young camp draft horse?
young camp draft horse, because I'm not a cowboy. I only picked it up very late, and I give the kids the young camp draft horses until I think they're not young and I can ride them. So no, the camp draft horse.
Talking about the kids on the horses, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, they're all going well. They love it.
Paddy or Jack going to be the star there?
Well, both in their own right. Jack's going good on his camp drafting. Paddy drifts off to his cutting a bit, so he's moved up to Walker with some people, or Woolbrook. So they're both very good at their camp drafting, and Paddy's just going another direction with his cutting and that direction, which is good. He's quite good at that too. And Riley's usually in her horses, and Sid as well.
Good.
Sid's back on the horse now.
And if you had to name a truck after a family member or one of the kids, who gets it?
No, they can't do that. So all their names are on the back of the first one.
Yeah, I remember.
No, there's no individuals here. If they want to do that, buy their own truck, they can put their own name on it.
What would surprise people most about your life right now, Dom?
Oh, I sort of always have a bit of a laugh with people about, this has been 21 or 22 years of toil. I think some people think we popped up last night, so I say we're an overnight success, 20 years in the making. 21 years or 22 years. Yeah. Oh, no, we just grabbed opportunities as they went. Some people think I'm lucky, and that's fair enough, but God, we started with one truck and borrowed all the money for that truck. There's not been 1 cent given to us here, and that's fine. There's a lot of other companies like that, but some people would probably think that we just popped up overnight, but we've been in the right place at the right time too. I've grabbed opportunities as they've gone, and with that's been the work in the early days to set it all up and just be in a position to, if we were still at a 1 or 2 truck operator, we could never ever look at, your T's and a few of these others. We were sitting ready. We were at a scale where we could do a fair bit of their work, and, I still probably had to get some help for some people while we had some more equipment coming. But we were at a stage where we could move on some of that work pretty quick.
Well, it's definitely not luck, mate. I've seen it myself. It's a lot of hard work that you've put in. It's juggling. It's risky. You're bloody ballsy, and it's a credit to you, mate. And I've got one last question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Here, most livable place of Australia, I say, the world. I still love. I went to America last year. I loved it. I've been to Europe. Me and Caroline went back to Ireland. We went to Egypt, and we've been around a bit, and love them places. But like, this is nearly I reckon it's one of the most livable places in Australia.
I've said the same.
Yeah. How many places? The climate's good. You've got the Murray River. You've got the snow, if that's what you like. An airport. Drive the car to Melbourne, Sydney. Well, that's just me personally. And from a business opportunity, what we've done, there's so many opportunities around here. If it's not the trucking side of it, the farming, it's a pretty go-ahead place.
Well, congratulations, Dom. As I said before, you're gutsy, you're clever, you're a hard worker, and
I don't know if Caroline agree with the clever. You'll have to talk to her about that.
Well, credit to Caroline too.
She tells me I'm other things that's not clever.
No, mate, I appreciate this chat, and thanks for your time, and I appreciate a couple of beers as well.
Well, you brought the beers, so that was all good. Appreciate the beers, Diz. Thank you.
Put it here, Dom.
That's good.
Thanks, mate. And there you have it. Dom Shanahan in full flight. From trucks to family, safety to switch off time, and everything in between. Dom, congratulations, and a huge thanks to you, mate, for letting me share your story. If you loved this episode, make sure you subscribe. And remember, every big story starts with a little grit, a lot of heart, and maybe a B triple or two.